Lots of questions are being raised about a conflict of interest after Attorney General Loretta Lynch met privately with Bill Clinton for about a half an hour aboard a parked private plane in Phoenix on Monday. You may recall Lynch's agency is handling Hillary's email investigation. But don't worry, the AG claims there was nothing inappropriate about their conversation.
Well, I did see the president at the Phoenix airport the other night as I was landing. He was headed out. He did come over and say hello and speak to my husband and myself and talk about his grandchildren and his travels and things like that. So that was the extent of that. And no discussions were held on any cases or anything of that. And he didn't raise anything about that either.
You don't believe that that gives off the appearance of any impropriety while your agency is investigating his wife? My agency is involved in a matter looking at State Department policies and issues. It's being handled by career investigators and career agents who always follow the facts and the law.
Even Democrats can't spin this one. Former Obama advisor David Axelrod said, while he takes aim at their word that the conversation didn't touch on the probe, it was foolish to create such optics. The Democratic Senator Chris Coons also issued this warning.
I don't think it sends the right signal. I think she should have steered clear even of a brief, casual social meeting with the former president.
And Donald Trump, of course, reacts to the stunning development tonight on Hannity, and here's a preview.
When I first heard that yesterday afternoon, I actually thought they were joking. I thought the people that told me was, you know, I said, no way. It's just no way that's going to happen. And it happened. And I'm flabbergasted by it. I think it's amazing. I've never seen anything like that before.
All right, KG, a lot of people today are talking about whether or not Loretta Lynch should recuse herself. Did she create a conflict of interest?
Yeah, and you know, when I asked somebody I trust and admire in terms of law, and that is Greta Van Susteren, she said that she thinks it really is improper because even if she said the conversation was primarily about social and family, that's really not enough to exonerate. It's so important when you are the chief law enforcement justice official in the country to not have any impropriety or even the appearance of it, especially when former President Bill Clinton is also an attorney, was AG in his state, and then now to do something like this, it's really way out of bounds. And so perhaps the simple, ethical, most appropriate thing would be for her to recuse herself and let her number two handle it.
Don't get me wrong, I'm not a fan of the Obama administration. However, I'm trying to figure out, so in D.C., a lot of people bump into each other in certain situations. Are we to say that she shouldn't bump into a Clinton ever? I'm trying to figure out.
He went on her plane.
No, you know, look, so what happened is he walked onto the plane.
In a corner of a cocktail party, any different?
No, I don't see any different. But he walked onto the plane, so he took the initiative. It wasn't as if she took the initiative. And he walks onto the plane. At that point, I guess she thought, well, he's here. And she, according to the reports, she was surprised. He sat down and then began having a conversation as if she was a high-ranking federal official that he hadn't met or talked to in some time, and so he was enjoying her company. But the optics do stink. I mean, there's no question about it. You want all your law enforcement officials to be above any thought, any suggestion that their intent is somehow compromised. I will say this, I don't think anybody that I've bumped into has anything but the highest regard for Loretta Lynch. Nobody thinks Loretta Lynch is up to this. And on the other hand, boy, you see Trump jump at this and you think, what is going on here? He couldn't believe it that someone bumped into somebody. It's the excessiveness of it. It's the half hour.
You have Democrats saying it, too. So if you're asked the question, you can answer it.
Yeah, and David Axelrod and Coons, as Kimberly points out. Now, you've been very complimentary of Loretta Lynch. Did she do something wrong here?
I hope that's not an insult towards me. I mean, I think that she actually has got a lot of integrity.
Right.
Remember, like, when she got confirmed, there was like, she's actually a good choice. And I don't think she's actually done anything inappropriate here. I think Bill Clinton is the one that did something exceedingly inappropriate. And if I were the White House, I'd be really mad at him.
Or his wife.
Because once again, he puts her in a position. Now, if a former president of the United States, I don't care who it is, says, oh, hey, I'd like to just pop in and say hi. I mean, it is, if you're a polite person, and it's, how do you say no to that? I mean, maybe she should have. Maybe she said, like, I'm not allowed to see you, which might have sent the right signal. Maybe that was the right thing to do. I just am not ready to indict her until there's, like, reason into, like, there's, like, some reason to.
The point is she has to say it's not proper given the investigation, you know, send my regards to the former president, but nevertheless, this is inappropriate. Maybe she should have. I mean, that's the rules.
I think that Bill Clinton is more to blame than she is.
Greg, what happens when Bill Clinton starts boarding your plane? What do you do?
I don't know. You know, everybody knows that Bill enjoys airports. He loves a good layover. So I think that the secret meeting, if you're going to have a secret meeting, You don't have it at an airport. I mean, what's the odds of running into people? That's the problem. Have it at Chuck E. Cheese. Bring a kid. That's your cover. You rent a child and you have the meeting there. Nobody knows. This is a really big deal about something small, but it's a screw up. It's like, you know, it just makes it. Why do this? That's it.
Well, no one thinks they planned to meet, but then when he heard she was there, then he went.
It's like
better too.
You know, if you see Charlie Sheen accepting a package in a parking lot, you know it's not flowers. It's something else.
All right, there you go. Let's move on to this one. The White House is weighing in on the Lynch-Clinton meeting uproar, claiming the DOJ's investigation into Hillary's emails will still be fair.
Both the President and the Attorney General understand how important it is for the Department of Justice to conduct investigations that are free of political interference. She was asked about it directly, and she answered the question directly about what exactly transpired. I haven't spoken to the President about this particular matter, but again, the President's expectation is that this is an investigation that will be guided by the facts, not by politics.
And then what else are they going to say?
Well, here's the thing. If you go back even to Loretta Lynch's comments, or even to the fact that Bill Clinton was like, oh, hey, I'm just going to go say hi to Loretta Lynch, I think it's because the Democrats have a mentality of that this is not a big deal to them. Mm-hmm. They do not think anything is a problem. They think this is Benghazi 2.0 for them. Like, of course, yes, they're going to have to do an investigation, and at the end of the day, of course, she's going to be just fine. So it doesn't even cross their minds that they're just going through the motions. Like, oh, yes, of course, nobody from the White House is going to weigh in. Nobody's going to interfere. It's all going to be totally fine. Now, that might be true, but what I think we really need to get to is a conclusion. I mean, the FBI and the Justice Department at some point, I think, have got to say in July, let's make a decision here, because the voters deserve to know.
Yeah, and one of the issues, Greg, Kimberly, Juan, if weigh in, is that there are so many instances of impropriety and allegations of corruption with the Clintons. This is just another one.
Yeah. Just another day.
Just in Clinton land.
Even if it's nothing wrong. I mean, they're as straight as a silly straw, so you always assume something weird's going on. And they were talking about their grandkids. And that's what I always do. When at the airport, I just board a plane. Talk about the grandkids.
You know, I got corrected today. I said the same thing. Like, it's grandchild. Now,
really?
Yeah, isn't it? Does she have more than one?
Is Loretta Lynch?
No,
I have no idea.
The Clintons have two.
Yeah, they just had the second one.
Second baby.
Here's the problem with this. I think, as we were saying earlier, the optics look bad from anybody's perspective. But the thing about it is, this comes back to, oh, it's Benghazi. Oh, it's the birth of stuff. There's always this inclination of somehow rent up this vast conspiracy. The Clintons are such evil people, and they're up to no good, and they've managed to somehow, like puppet masters, construct this thing. So Bill Clinton was on the tarmac, forced his way onto Loretta Lynch's airplane, and then he told her, don't you indict Hillary. I mean, come on.
Well, it does look like intimidation.
Well, right.
Why is he going up there? Do I blame a video? Maybe there was a movie.
There you go. It makes it uncomfortable, right?
Because on her airplane.
It makes it uncomfortable because she's investigating his wife for very serious crimes, and the allegations that are forward regarding the email server. So, it is really improper. I mean, I've had investigations, and I'm the prosecutor on a case. I cannot talk to the other side. Just like you can't talk to jurors in a case that are evaluating. If they're in the restroom, you cannot speak to them. And the judge says, don't think the prosecutor's being rude. She cannot talk to you. So when male jurors and people want to come up and friendly,
can't do it.
Can't do it.
So go ahead.
No, go ahead.
When asked to describe Hillary Clinton, the new Fox News poll says 58% of voters found her to be, quote, corrupt. And you wonder, Juan, why people think stuff is going on when Bill Clinton boards Loretta Lynch's plane.
No. Well, I mean, I know that if you were going to go with the Clinton campaign's response, it would be, well, she's been in public life for 25+ years, and she's been subject to so many allegations and conspiracy theories that we were talking about earlier. So that's what they would say. But I think she is right, Hillary Clinton, when she says she knows she's got work to do on this front. This is not just one poll. It's not just a Fox News poll. It's everybody's poll.
Right.
That it comes up that trustworthiness is a weakness for Hillary Clinton. So even if it's because she's been assailed by her critics for so long, the fact is it's still a problem that she's got to somehow overcome it. I will say this one thing, which is the same Fox poll says when compared to Donald Trump, Hillary Clinton's more intelligent, more experienced, more sensible, and more, and this is, less obnoxious and less hot-headed. So all of that is also true.
Yeah, but that corruption one is a fairly big one.
Well, that's why you go with the name
I highlighted
Crooked.
it because
Crooked
I said,
Hillary.
Eric's going to really notice this one.
You know the one in this poll that surprised me that they both probably need to really think about is the one that cares about people like you.
Right.
That was both 45% for her, 35% for him. I don't think that's that huge of a difference, but it's really low for both of them.
All right. Quick thoughts, final?
Yeah, do you know why she's seen as less trustworthy? It's because she's less trustworthy.
Very good. That's
You know,
100%
really.
polls.
Profound.
We'll agree with
I got to
that.
think about that.
Yeah, I mean, you should end it there. That
We'll
was
end it right
powerful.
there.